Hey, how you doing today? It's Mike again. Just wanted to deliver another message on here. So today I want to talk about something that kept popping up through last night. Um, Before I went to bed, after I said my prayers, while I was praying, and even a little bit this morning, which was dreams. And talking about your dreams here. And I was called to say something about how important your dreams are. And there was a quote on my daughter's wall in her room that my mother-in-law put together. She bought this like blanket or whatever. And my daughter plays soccer, so she's big into soccer and likes to watch the U.S. women's national team. And when she was little, one of her favorite players was Alex Morgan. And Alex Morgan had this quote that it said, "Dream big, um, because dreams do happen." And we had that made in or my mother-in-law had it made into a frame, and we had it above my daughter's bed for a long time. And it was dream big because dreams do happen. And it's so true. It's so true because if you think about it, when you were a little kid, I think all little kids have dreams about what they want to do. Like if you're out there and you're riding your bike down the street, you want to be like a BMX rider, like they have the BMX riders on TV or whatever. If you're riding your skateboard, you want to be like a skateboarder. Like in my generation, it was like Tony Hawk was a skateboarder. Um, if you were playing sports, I can remember playing wiffle ball with the plastic, the white plastic baseball and the yellow bat in the backyard. And we would have like one on one where we would play each other, and you would say, "This is the team I am," and then "This is the player that I am." Like Jose Canseco was one of my players. Batters. Um, the Orioles weren't that good then, so I mean, be honest with you. But the A's were, and I always want to be Jose Canseco. I remember that, and hit the ball, hit a home run over the fence, in my friend's backyard. Um, Same thing, you just fantasize, you just dream about, that kind of stuff. And I think the problem is, I think in life, as you get older and older, I think you kind of like forget how to dream. Um, and that statement is important because it doesn't matter how old you are, you know, you can still dream. You can still have things that you want to accomplish in life and start something new and put something together that can help people. Um, for me, I mean, look at me. I was at a really bad spot in my life this time last year and went through some stuff. And I promise I will get to my story when the time is right. It's just not there right yet. But I will. I'll have a whole podcast on my story. I'll go through my whole story from beginning all the way to the end. And I promise you it will be a very inspiring story, um, with a lot of ups and a lot of downs and a lot of spiritual intervention, because that's really what saved me. God saved me. And, once God saved me, then I realized that that's what was important in my life, was to, dedicate myself and dedicate my life to helping Him and serving Him, and basically surrendering myself over to Him. In my Bible group, we just talked about, we're on James chapter 4, and the verses we read today were about surrendering yourself over to the Lord. And we kind of like started glossing over it quickly. And the guy that runs the group was like, "Well, how do you do that? Like, how do you actually surrender yourself over to the Lord? It's not just you just snap your fingers and I'm surrendering myself. But I told him, I said, you just have to have a conversation with God, and you just have to say, Lord God, I am surrendering myself completely over to you. You do whatever you want to do with me. Use me however you see fit to do whatever you want me to do on earth for you. And I say that every morning, and I ask him to show me the way for the day, show me, what I need to do for the day to help whoever I need to help, and, bless me to be able to bless others. And just every day I ask for the same thing, is to show me the way. Usually when I'm having my coffee with Jesus in the morning, I call it. But you know, I just wanted to, say, if you look at me and you look at how you're never too old to dream, um, once you find God, you know, He can actually help you with your dreams. Jesus and God, they will help you with your dreams. Um, and what do I mean by that? It's like they'll help you come up with ideas on what you need to do to be able to reach your dreams. If you're a kid and you want to be a professional athlete, and you find God and you find Jesus and you surrender yourself to them, you know, they're gonna help you see and learn what you need to be doing to take care of yourself as you grow and you develop and you become more muscular, and show you the right type of foods that you should be eating, show you the right type of exercises you should be doing, the right type of training you should be doing, and maybe even put you in touch in a way that you didn't even think it was happening, but it was, by divine intervention, and putting you in touch with the exact right coach at the exact right time in your life to get you to the next level of where you need to be. If you believe that this stuff happens. It's true. You know, there are steps. There is a process to get where you want to go. You don't just snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're playing for the Ravens or you're playing for the Orioles. You got to go through. You got to earn that. You got to earn all that. You talk to any of those guys, they'll teach you the same thing. But if you have the power of God on your side, man, that's like having an extra dash of hot sauce on top. Like, he's controlling everything anyway. So why would you not want to have that extra, bit of help to be able to get you where you want to be? Same thing if you're older and, like me, I'm 46 now, and I can't play for the Ravens. I can't play for the Orioles. As much as I would love to put the pads on again, I just don't know if I would probably be walking off that field if I did it. I don't think that's going to happen. Um, I mean, those guys hit pretty hard, but it was fun. I mean, I loved doing it when I was younger. And, I mean, I'd love to run into the stadium and have them announce my name and have all the fans yell and scream, be 80,000 people on their feet. That'd be fun. But I don't know about playing in the actual game. I don't know about that. But anyway, but my dream, was kind of like my calling for Jesus and my calling for God. When I fully surrendered myself over to them, it's almost like you get this calling on your life in terms of what you need to do and who you need to be and how you need to act. And like almost like instructions, but it's weird. Like it's not like you don't get like a pamphlet with the instructions. I mean, of course you have the Bible. Of course you have the Bible. You can read the Bible, and there are instructions in there. But I'm talking about instructions that are just like literally downloaded into your brain from the divine. Um, that you don't even know about until you really start praying and meditating on them and thinking about and just trying to believe. But when you do, like my calling was, started as try to help get as many people to Christ as you possibly can, right? So I that made me sit down and think, okay, well, how can I reach as many possible people that I possibly can reach? Well, it's got to be it's got to be online because that's where everybody's at. So it's got to be online. It's got to be something that people can watch because they don't want to read anything. That's why I think a lot of people don't read the Bible. To be honest with you, I think they're just bored with it. They don't like to read. They like to watch. Um, you know, so it's like you get something to watch, and you get messages that you can put out. Um, Maybe some of it's biblical, but I think people also want authenticity. They want something authentic. They want something that the average person can understand and comprehend, um, and be able to come to terms with. And I think that, I thought, well, if I could figure out a way to get it online and do like a podcast, I would interview. It's like, all right, well, then I thought that could be something where it got somewhere, and I could get in front of a lot of people that way. And so I prayed on it, and I prayed on it, and my wife doesn't want me to tell my story on here, um, because there are some things in the story that are very dark, very, very dark. And she doesn't want, my kids to have people at schools and stuff say stuff to them and all that stuff. And I understand that, but I went through a absolutely insane spiritual experience twice in my life. And the first time I didn't listen to him, and the second time I finally accepted, because I was begging for the help, and I begged for him, and he came through again, um, and it was just wonderful. But my point is that I prayed about the podcast, and so my first idea was I was gonna just interview people, who believed in Christ, and put them on a podcast, and just have interview after interview after interview after interview, and it seemed like it was a good idea, but what happened was I got a couple people to do the interview, and then some people said they would do it, and then they like flaked out, and they're like, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that and being on a podcast and being on the internet and telling my story about how I love Jesus. I don't think people necessarily like that. And, I respect that. I do. I mean, it's not for everybody, and my challenge is, though, if you really do love Jesus and you really do love God, then what difference does it make? Why wouldn't you want to be out there and be on a website or on a podcast talking about how much you love him? Because if you really do love him, then you would be there talking about him, because that gets the word out to more people, And the whole point behind this is, again, it's not to make money, it's to bring more people back to Christ. And it's to get one of those posts to go viral so that, somebody sees it somewhere in wherever and says, this is exactly what we need. And something goes from there and takes off. So I thought that that was where we were headed with the podcast. And then as things started to get harder to find people to sit down and tell me their stories, I said, well, maybe I need to go find more people, right? So then I tried that. So I prayed about that. And, that's when I started going to a Bible study. And then I started going to another Bible study. And I met some cool people there, but I didn't want people to feel like I was pushing them or like I'm making it obligated to do it. So I just kind of, didn't really, pursue those people that much. I figured if it was going to happen, it was just going to happen organically and things were going to go the way they were going to go. So then I decided I'm going to start when one of the Bible study groups kind of took off for the summer. They don't meet during the summer for whatever reason. Um, then I had a void. So I said, all right, well, now I got more time in my schedule. I can go to a place called Celebrate Recovery, which is a 12-step program that basically follows like Alcoholic Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous format with the steps that they have, and it's a Christ-based program, and I went up just to check it out. I had no idea what they did there. I just saw the signs for it on the road by my church, and I thought this might be something cool to check out. And I went in like the first week, and I was hooked. I'm like, this is great. I get to meet people. I get to hear their stories. It gets to inspire me to do more stuff, and think about more stuff and think about more ideas and use my creativity. And then slowly but surely, as the time started to go on, I kept praying about it and what can I do to make a difference. And, you know, God just started speaking to me and said, just get on your phone and just start talking. Just start talking about different stuff. Start talking about different topics, you know? And I'll give you stuff to say. Just start talking and then just trust me and it'll just start coming out of you. And the next thing you know, that's what I did. And now I'm like, I don't know, 30 some videos in. And it's pretty cool. And I like it. And I have people that look forward to seeing the videos. I have people that I've helped um, personally. I've had people that I've helped not get high that have seen some videos and said, all right, I'm not going to smoke weed tonight. I've had, people who've had porn addictions, stop just by watching some stuff here. And then I took it another step further and throughout my being on my social media, one of the ads that popped up was from a company called, I think it's Groundwire, and they have online coaches for a whole bunch of real estate websites that they own. The number one site is, I think, JesusCares.com. So it happens is people who are depressed or people who are, not feeling well and people that just, have a hard time with life, they go online, they find JesusCares.com and they want to chat with somebody. So they chat with an online spiritual coach. Well, that's what I do. I do that too. Now I only do it because I still work. So I still do real estate. So I only can commit to about 2 hours a week for that. So it's very limited. It's only like if I have like a quick half hour or hour here or there, I'll jump on and just see what I can do if there's somebody there I can chat with. But again, it's every life matters. So if I can change just one person's life and bring them to Christ, I mean that's what matters. That's what matters. That's what my, you know, um, calling is to bring as many people to Christ as I possibly can and that's what I do. So, you know, I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what your dreams are, but you're never too old to have dreams. Maybe it's starting a company for yourself. Maybe it's just you buying somebody else's company and taking that the next step further. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's buying a big boat and starting a charter business like one of the guys in my Bible study did. He loves it. Um, but I can tell you this, and I had this written down, and I was like, "How is this gonna? How does this relate?" These are all like notes I text myself when I get a thought about what I can put in the podcast, or I just get a thought that's something to talk about. I'll literally text myself, so I have it in my phone. And so the next thing that I kind of brought me to, but this is a kind of a goal, it would be a goal for me to figure out how to help this happen, which is this is a big goal. This is not like a little goal. This is like a United States goal. This is like a big goal to help this country, um, which would help it in so many ways that you couldn't even. I mean, you can't even again put a price on this, and there would be so many organizations out there that would help this out and help this cause out for free. They'd help donate, these things. But I really, really can't stress enough that, the Bible, that is such an important book. You read about, kids read about the Great Gatsby, and they read about Shakespeare, and they read about all this other stupid ass shit. And I'm apologizing now for cussing, but I'm keeping it real. They read about all this other crap that means absolutely nothing when they should be reading the Bible. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with putting the Bible back in schools, in public schools? You talk about how all these kids that go to private schools are privileged and they have a better education and they have all this other crap. You know what they have in private school? They got the Bible. My son had to buy a Bible to go to high school. He's in private school. Yes, that's a decision that I make. But what if we had the Bibles in public schools? It's something that everybody could do. It's something that they wouldn't have to find money in the budget for, because there's so many different religious and spiritual organizations out there. They would find a way. God Himself would find a way to get Bibles delivered to every single school out there to get in the hands of these children. And can you imagine what would happen if we actually had kids at the elementary school level learning about God and believing in God and praying to God? They're the ones that are going to be taking care of me when I'm in a nursing home. So why are we not taking care of them? Here's another thing to throw out. And again, I'm just throwing this out. But in my high school, I went to public school. And in my high school, we didn't have the complete and utter disrespect. Complete and utter disrespect that they have now. I saw a video of my high school online, and I saw a principal get punched in the face from a student. That would have never happened when I was in high school. Ever. And we didn't have the Bible. But you know what else we didn't have? We didn't have police officers in the school who could arrest you on the spot. You know, the worst we did was smoke cigarettes in the bathroom. But guess what my kid's school didn't have? Any assaults on a teacher. I don't even think there was one fight at their K through 8 school that they went to. The whole time they were there. Not just 1 year, 9 years for both of them. They have the Bible in that school. No police officers, but they got the Bible. How about this too, while we're at it, Mr. Governors and whoever the hell else you are listening to this? Where do your kids go if they're 12 to 18 years old every weekend when you're not supervising them? They're going to hang out at Johnny's house. You ever think about why they always go to Johnny's house? Maybe because Johnny's parents don't supervise them and don't care what they do at all. So they're over there drinking and getting high from weed and sometimes some much harder shit that can kill you. But yet, we don't feel the need to have a full-blown, semester-long class in substance abuse or health and wellness with substance abuse or meditation, mindfulness, spiritualness, all that. These are things that are necessary. These are things that could make a difference. Put the Bible in the schools, have some substance abuse classes, and maybe even, something wild and crazy here. Maybe have some resources online, like videos or something, for parents of what the hell to do with your kid when you're suspecting that they're using substance abuse, or some signs to look out for of what to suspect when they're doing substance abuse. Have it readily available with your little, newsletters that you email out from the principals. And see, this applies to private schools as well as public schools. This whole substance abuse thing. Because, the difference between public and private there is the private schools get the better shit. They get the cocaine. They get the fentanyl. That's what you need to think about. That's what society should be thinking about. That's how you make a difference. That's how you use education to make a difference. All you politicians out there want to sit here and say, we're going to educate, we're going to educate, we're going to educate, we're going to teach, we're going to teach, we're going to make a difference. An obtuse triangle, knowing whatever angle that is, does not make a difference. But knowing how to do your taxes does. Got to pay them every year. If not, you go to jail, real jail. Maybe we make accounting or tax planning or estate planning or how to buy a house or financial literacy. I know my daughter, she has a financial piece that she takes through her private school. Never heard about that in public school. I mean, the whole thing needs to be redone. The whole thing. Sorry to get on a rant about education, but my main message is get the Bible back in the schools. Needs to happen. Number one priority. So, whoever watches this, hopefully you can help me make it happen. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I know it's a little lengthy, but I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the support. Click the thumbs up button, click the like button, leave a comment. I always respond to comments, and keep on keeping on. God bless everybody. God bless yourselves, and take care of each other. Till next time, say bye.